Hey there, alligator. Over the past couple weeks, I've gotten quite a few comments and emails asking about how to deal with anti-Catholic criticism or how to respond when people talk derogatorily to us because of our faith. So it's time for some Thursday thoughts, which means unedited, totally streamed, and raw. So here we go. So I'm Allie Marie, and this is my Catholic perspective. To join the alligators, all you have to do is subscribe and then share the video that compelled you to subscribe to Facebook or Twitter using the hashtag alligators. On Thursdays, I go back to the old style of blogging that I used to do when I first started this video blog, and today it's going to be revolving around an email that was actually sent to me by a camper that I met. I was a camp counselor last year at Camp Sancta Maria up in northern Michigan, and Natalie Murphy was in my cabin, and she sent me this email that I thought very beautifully laid out a lot of struggles that several viewers have contacted me about, and I think I've spoken about this a couple different times, but I really wanted to address her exact examples that she used and how I would probably respond. So she sent me this email. She said, "Hey, Allie Marie, in your past few videos and posts, I realize that you are really strong in what you believe. I agree on your perspectives on abortion, Catholicism, etc., which are the two main reasons I'm emailing you." So first with that, I just want to say thanks, Natalie. I'm very thankful for the grace that God has granted me to not have doubt in his existence. I think that through a lot of prayer and meditation is how I just seek him in that, and maybe due to how far away that I fell, I just have a really strong connection with who he is as a being, as our Father, and I love that he's just as accessible to anybody at any stage in their life as he is to me today. So I'm grateful that you see that and that you feel that, and I just want to give that back to God to say that that's totally him working in me, because without him, I am literally a blubbering mess. So first off of that. Okay, so then she goes on to say, "My friends don't always agree with what the church teaches or what Catholics believe. They don't always see God's unfailing love for us. For example, I was listening to some music one day and she started laughing that there was religious music on my playlist. She made fun of it in front of my friends and I was humiliated. She said to me, 'Natalie, are you seriously listening to Jesus music right now? Jesus music is for Jesus places.' I didn't really know how to react because I didn't want to be made fun of by my friends, but I enjoy religious music and it helps me become closer to the Lord. I laughed with them, said that I didn't make the playlist, and went on with my day." So with this example, what I probably would have said if one of my friends had said that would be, Jesus is everywhere. Every place is a Jesus place. God is inherently, he's omnipresent. So he's literally everywhere and he's within us. And we are temples of the Holy Spirit. So I would probably be well, we're all children of God. So Jesus is actually living inside of you and he's living inside of me. Jesus doesn't exist within walls. He is everywhere. And, but as far as feeling humiliated about it, it's hard. I will give you that. Absolutely. And it doesn't always change. Especially in the culture that we live in where I think people respond with laughing, or if they feel uncomfortable, they don't know how to respond. So they end up making somebody else, putting someone else down to make them feel better, to feel more comfortable in the situation. So if it's not something that they know, or if it's it just doesn't make sense to them, I think people process things in a certain way that end up ridiculing others. So I would definitely, I'm trying to think back to a situation when I was in that type of spot, because a lot of the people that I surround myself with now respect my beliefs. They understand we don't always agree. One of my best girlfriends, has an implanted birth control device, and she, we have different views on how life should be lived. And we can still respectfully disagree. And so I think that that's probably an important thing to look for in our friends. And there might be an aspect of examining, like, why am I friends with these people? You know, it might be that you're on a soccer team with them, or maybe you play softball with them, or like a sports team. And so you're around them for that type of community. And what I would do with that is like focus on that common ground, but at the same time, if they were to like ridicule me for something that I would do, it's almost like trying to not care. And it's just like, hey, it's who I am. Like, I'm a child of God, so are you, and Jesus is everywhere. So, and I think that, yeah, standing up for it and like having a heart to heart with them outside of the situation, like talking to them about, like, maybe you approach them and be like, you know, the other day the song came on my playlist and you made fun of me, and it kind of hurt my feelings because, you know, my faith is really important to me. Like, it makes me who I am. And I just, you know, I don't really appreciate people like talking badly about my beliefs. Like, does that make sense? And maybe use an example of something that you know that they believe in. Like, you know, I don't know, maybe they like wearing spaghetti straps or something out in public. And so you could be like, you know, I don't necessarily believe in this, but like, I'm not going to make fun of you because of X, Y, or Z. Like, I accept you for who you are, and I would love if you could accept me for who I am as well. So that would be kind of a few thoughts on that one. And so then Natalie gives another example, and she said, we watch a religious TV show at school called The Bible. Another one of my friends was laughing during the most important parts, like when Jesus showed his disciples the holes in his hands, feet, and side. I didn't think it was funny or something that we should laugh about. Again, I didn't know how to react to it. So in one of those situations where it's actually in the classroom, I would almost, I mean, obviously I'm presuming the teacher was in the classroom as well, and that would be something that I would think the teacher would actually like, be like, hey, you know, this is kind of important. But at the same time, there is a level of immaturity within a lot of people, and that is not age exclusive. It can go on for years and years, but as some people just have, it's that uncomfortable piece again, I think. Like, it's something that they don't understand, so they don't know how to handle it. And it's like, I don't know if there was something like that they thought was funny about what was on the TV, or if they were laughing in like a mocking type of way. Like, people can respond differently to different situations. And so I think that in that situation, though, it would almost be on the teacher. And so one of the things that you could do is approach the teacher after class and be like, hey, did you notice that, like, they were laughing? And, you know, talk with the teacher, see what they say, because they're the ones that who are the ultimate authority. And, like, you could even express how it made you feel uncomfortable. And, like, you know, maybe in the future, if it were to happen again, that the teacher would pause it and, like, express how inappropriate it was. I don't know, Natalie, if you go to like a Catholic school or if it is a public school. I'm presuming it must be private since you're watching a TV show called The Bible in class. But I would that's probably where I would go, would be just to the teacher. And then, because it's not really, I couldn't see myself like speaking out in like a classroom setting in front of like a lot of people being like, hey, be quiet, or like, you know, there's a level of charity that can be discerned within that. But yeah, so go to the authority that's there that can actually draw that back in. And so then Natalie, you say, many times I feel like some of my friends bring me away from God instead of bringing me closer. They don't agree with some of the things that I believe in or take part in. My question was, how can I still be friends and still be strong like you in what I believe? I want to stand my ground in God, but I want to still have fun with my friends. How should I react when they try to bring me away from God? Thank you for reading this. Hope to see you in August, Natalie. So you will see me in August, first off. I am officially going to be a counselor the week of August 12th to the 18th at Camp Sancta Maria. I'll talk about that after I answer your final question here. But, so how can you be friends with these people? The biggest thing, there are a couple. There are probably like 3 pointers I could offer. But the first one would be start your day in prayer. Like, prayer is the biggest thing. Reading the devotions, reading like the words of the saints, maybe that's the second one. All of that is integrated together for me in prayer. Like, I spend a lot of time reading. I have a couple like daily devotional books that I look through. I'm reading The Imitation of Christ right now, which is also a really good one. It's kind of heavy, but finding a book that resonates with you, or finding a saint that resonates with you, and finding that way to identify with them, because they also lived very hard lives. They did not have a scot-free, easy, everyone accepted them kind of life. Like, they were isolated, they were secluded, they were sick, they had trauma cast upon them, and then they like broke through past it. So I would find one that you truly identify with and like just totally feel that full connection with, because they're the ones that are going to be able to help you like on that journey with friends. And there might be one that has like some writings about those friends. So that would be one. Journaling is important too. I started having a journal when I was younger, but I think that like my parents found it and that ended up ending. But have a conversation with them about how you'd like to start journaling, and just journal about how you're feeling. And some of that there might be some friendships that you need to cut off. Like, there are certain friends that I am no longer friends with because I converted Catholic. Because they just wanted to go to the bar. That was all that they did. That was the only place I saw them. And once I stopped going to the bar, I stopped seeing them. And now if I go to the bar, like, they're there and they're happy to welcome me there. But it's still like, they're like, oh, let's drink. Oh, you want a shot? And it's like, no, I only drink red wine. They're like, oh, you're still on that red wine kick, ha, and everything else. Like, there are just certain people that I have that intentional distance between. But again, if you're like on a sports team with them and like you just want to have some fun, like there are some boundaries that you can still put up and say, friendship is about like relationships with other people is learning how to communicate and overcome differences. Like, no two people are ever going to be alike. And my best girlfriend and I, like, she was raised Catholic, but she is not Catholic. And we have a lot of differences. Like, we do. But there are certain topics that we just agree to disagree on. At this point, she knows my stance. She knows that if she ever has any questions, she can come to me. But like, it's not like I'm like higher and mightier than her or her boyfriend or anyone else. Like, everyone has the same availability to God. Like, I will go right back to it. God loves all of us equally. He doesn't love this person because they're doing everything right. He doesn't like love this person a little bit less because they're like doing drugs. He doesn't have favorites. Okay? God does not have favorites. On earth, parents do. God does not. And so we are all children of God. We are all worthy of that inherent love. And so the biggest thing that we can do as Catholics, as Christians, is love. And if somebody is like actively tearing me down and pulling me away from my faith, then I do separate myself from them. And I have to be careful about who I'm giving that time to, because my time is worthwhile. Like, my time is worth it. It's worth it to draw those boundaries and say, I want to spend time with this person. I don't want to spend time with this person. And if we're just being friends with the first people who want to be our friends, then we're not going to have great friends. Just like if you marry the first guy that shows some interest in you, you're probably not going to marry a great guy. Like, maybe God works in mysterious ways. I'm not dissing on that, but I'm just saying, like, there is, patience is a virtue. Like, there is a reward within what we do and consequences to what we do as well. So I don't know the specifics on some of your situations. I know that it can be very hard, especially when you're still in school and especially when you're like forced to be around other people. Like, school is one thing, but then when you graduate, you go to work, and now maybe somebody has workplace people who act this way. And the biggest thing is just, like, decide where you're going to do that time, but also, like, be willing to stand up for Christ just as he would stand up for you. Like, if someone was having a conversation with Jesus about you and they said something derogatory about you, like, oh, yeah, that Connor, like, he's so dumb. He doesn't even know what he's doing. Like, he has, like, such a bad job. Like, how would Jesus respond to that? Would Jesus, like, laugh and be like, oh, yeah, I messed up on that one. Like, I didn't create him. Like, would he say that? No. He'd be like, that's my child you're talking about. Like, how dare you? And maybe he wouldn't say how dare you, but he would be like, that's my child. Like, I love him. He is doing his best with what he has right now. And like, he is growing, he's blossoming, and he has all of this potential. And like, God sees the good in us. And so it is up to us to see that good in others as well. Because every person is inherently good. When we were created, we were all created in perfect union with God. We were created perfect. And it wasn't until the fall that we were separated from that perfection. So every person in this world is created inherently good. And so it's just up to us to find that in our friends and in the people that we encounter. Like, we can smile at a homeless person, we can smile at the person in the grocery store, and we can smile at the people who still hurt us. But I think that if it's someone who's consistent in your life, that it is our duty and responsibility to like protect ourselves and be sure that we are like guarding and protecting our faith and our people as well. So I hope that helps. Patrick Perkins, one of my patrons, had also asked, like, it was a month ago now, he wanted us to do a live stream on why we believe the way that we do and how to deal with anti-Catholic criticism. So there will probably be another video coming out sometime soon about like why we believe the way that we do, because we do believe a little bit differently. Like, we do have a lot of rituals. Our faith is a little more difficult to understand. It's not like anyone can walk in off the street and be like, oh yeah, I understand the Catholic Church fully, because there's more depth. And so like going into that and like how to deal with that anti-Catholic criticism, hopefully, like, this isn't necessarily specific to Catholicism, so hopefully that's helpful for anybody that is of the Christian faith. And I just really hope that that's helpful for you, because that's what's in my head. But yeah, so this summer there's a girls' camp at Camp Sancta Maria up north, and it's from August 12th to the 18th, and I am a camp counselor up there. It's for girls that are like, I want to say like 5 years old to 14, something like that. I'm going to put the link in the bio below. So like you can check out the description, and if you have kids that age, if you have girls that age, or if you watching are that age, like, you are more than welcome to come up and join us. It's so much fun. Like, we do all kinds of stuff and all sorts of fun, like singing and bonfires, and we all sleep in the cabins together. So it's a really good time and just a great opportunity to bond with other women our age, and like, you know, being able to just like see that growth and that beauty within our womanhood. So something to think about if you are interested in learning more. Like, you can contact me directly, or you can just check out the site and contact them. Kathy is one of the leaders there, and she's absolutely phenomenal with being helpful. So go ahead and contact that. But otherwise, any other questions or clarifications that you would like, feel free to put them below in the comments. But I will see you guys again soon. I'm glad. Thanks for the email, Natalie. And if anybody else wants to like reach out and email, these Thursday Thoughts are going to kind of be like the response type videos where I kind of just give my thoughts. And it's going to be the unedited and unfiltered and just that standard blog style that I used to do when I first started doing this blog. So God bless you. Take care. And until next time, we'll see you later, alligator. Ah.